Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening to my fellow friend. My name is Shamsul Amir Shafiq bin Shamsul Bahri. My metric number 257117. So we are from group 2. We will be presented about the accessibility student to getting food while MCO. So I will introduce my group member, which is
Okay,
Alifah.
Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. My name is Siti Alifah binti Azli Syam. Metric number is 255120.
Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Rahizat bin Muhammad Khalil. My metric number is 262082.
Hi, good evening everybody. My name is Muhammad Ikhwan Hakim bin Azlan. My metric number 272845.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Khairul Nabilah binti Abdul Rashid. My metric ID number is 255553.
So thank you all. So for the introduction, it has come to our concern that during the conditional movement control order, which is in UUM, has implemented guidelines for entering and leaving campus for students who are currently in campus. So student activity which not required to do in UUM. So students are concerned about the accessibility to the to food, particularly beyond the operation hour of the cafeteria, which is not many store, not many restaurant open in the UUM. So it is prohibited for the university student to cook at the dorm. So on the other hand, there are students who must live on a limited budget as well, which is the B40 background. So therefore, the significance of this problem is to reduce the insecurity of food. So there are some recommendations to the university to fix this dilemma at once to solve this problem. So I will give to the Alifah for the solution number 1.
Okay, well, to kickstart the discussion, I would like to suggest that we open up pantries. The solution will be implemented by launching pantries, one pantry at each student residence, at least one pantry. Okay, what do you think about this?
So it's a good idea to implement the pantries at one in assist, right?
Yes, student residence.
So how about others?
Yes, I also have my suggestion to solve the problem because we know based on the problem statement, student having difficulties to get food during MCO, right? So my suggestion to solve the problem is students can use delivery service. Students who have difficulties to getting food during movement control order MCO in UUM should use food delivery services. UUM also should allow the delivery boy to enter campus to deliver the food. This method is very easy because students don't need to go out to buy food and only need to order via online using their smartphone and download many applications such as GrabFood or Food Panda.
I'm sorry, Ajay. I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt you.
Yes.
That's the solution number 2. We are talking about the solution number 1, which is the pantries. So get Alifah explain first for the solution number 1.
I will actually like to hear other solutions, and then I will explain more about solution number 1. I would like to hear your elaboration on other solutions.
Okay, so the solution number 2 is delivery. Okay.
Okay, about the delivery. So the students will still have to pay for the food, right? And the delivery fee.
Yes, of course. They need to pay for the service, like 10 ringgit or more for their service.
Also, it will be some of the food will be, some of the price will be expensive then, according to the food price. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rohaizat point is good, but as Shafiq discussed at the introduction, we all also know that students have a limited budget on spend their money. So it is food delivery is a suitable solution to this problem. How about others?
Okay, the delivery solution still needs the student to pay. So it doesn't consider the limited budget of some students. For my idea, pantries, opening up pantries will help a lot of students in need of getting food. Not just when the cafeteria is closed, but also when they have to limit their budget on a daily basis. So how do you think about pantries?
Okay. Let me try to understand your point. Okay, you are saying that pantries are one of the best way to overcome the hunger issues among students, right? So I would say that it is quite good because yeah, I can see the motive of you having pantries because it will be operating 24 hours, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I think yeah, so far so good. So yeah, can you explain more about your solution?
I
Yeah,
have
Alifa, it sounds great, but how about we talk about the duration, the time taken to the implementation of this solution?
Well, opening up pantries actually need a lot of work to join ventures with student committees. We need a lot of documents. So yeah.
So we go through for the solution number 3, right? So for the solution number 3, so according to the data from the Department of Statistics, so which is comprising 2.91 million household, was 4,849 for one parent, which is quite low for me. And then as my suggestion is to do the voucher for the B40 student, which is this voucher is quite good. But the first thing first that I may think about is about the cost for the voucher. I think the cost will be expensive because it will cost around 25,000, because the student we will give around 100 student. So the student will get around 150 per month, I think. So there's no difficulty for the student to get the food if there's a voucher about 150 per month. So may I know from the others about the opinion for the voucher?
Okay. So the voucher. How about the accessibility of the voucher?
The accessibility for the voucher, which is I think most student will be accept about the voucher, because uh, we will talk about the voucher buku like 250 from the government before this, and then 150 is by UUM, so there's nothing to talk about the voucher. The student will take the voucher also.
Okay. So how
I
about
see your
others?
point, Shafiq. Okay. I see your point, Shafiq, but we talk about out of the operation hour of cafe, which is the voucher need to redeem at the operation hour, right?
Yeah.
So how to help that student hungry at the late of night?
Or late of night. I think night is for sleep, so I don't think we will provide the food for the, because there's I think there's 24 hours mat in UUM also. So I don't think the student also will use the voucher for the 24 hours mat also. So they can, but they think I can be greedy for the voucher to, I think so about that. Yeah, just that. Yeah, that's all from me.
Okay. So allow me to begin with my next solution, which would be the operating a 24-hour mat. So as we can see, food hunger has been such as insecurities to the student. So I would like to suggest, why not we have a 24-hour mat? So what do you guys think about this?
Well, that's interesting because during CMCO, right, 24 hours mark seems good.
Yeah, I also think it's quite a good idea.
But what about the cost of implementing this solution?
Not to mention the cost would be, of course, it would be very high. But maybe when maybe the top management can get the fund from the students association and then the alumni association. So that would be a way of getting the fund, and maybe they could collect some donation because the way of, because the reason on why I suggest on having this mic, because when students, we are talking about the students who are staying late at night doing their assignments, the especially the active students who are actively involved in curricular activities. So this could be a good way for them to get their diet well balanced, because for example, we can see as a student, okay, we are students, right? So sometimes we don't have enough time to catch our food, sorry, sometimes we don't have enough time to eat. So maybe while having an 24-hour convenience store or might in UUM, in the campus as well in Kachi. So the might could prepare many a variety of things such as the toiletries, their foods, beverages. So and might also can provide warm food, well balanced food. For example, they can put nasi lemak or anything, so the students will not get hunger issues anymore. They can overcome the issues by going to the mart. So that's my idea.
The idea sounds nice and the elaboration is very clear. How about
I'm
others?
glad I I am glad that you mentioned about 24-hour mic, but may I ask about the price of the food, because it is a 24-hour mic. We all also know that 24-hour mic is expensive. So how about that?
Oh, about the price of the food, I would say that it would not get to the point which the food would be very cheap, but we can try to take it from suppliers. For example, the suppliers which can provide cheaper stocks, so that because for example, if you talk about 7-Eleven, of course we could say that it provides pricier and it provides expensive foods, but we are talking about the student, this is for the students and the staff, so especially CMCO. So I think we could try to get cheap suppliers.
Okay, do you have any other solutions, guys?
Yeah, yes, I have other solution, which is we know that significant of this problem is to reduce the insecurity of food. I think UUM should provide a place with food will provide such as charity, which is food bank. It given to those have a limitation, especially to those who do not have enough cash to buy it. So apart from being able to help students with financial difficulties, it also supports students who suffer from hunger beyond the working hour of the cafeteria. In addition, generally, students can take food at any moment, especially when needed, but also takes other student into consideration. So when he or she take the food, he also think about other student. So how about my solution?
Oh, in my opinion, that sounds good because to launch pantries, it also needs food banks as a huge resource, and food aside from student committees. So food banks also help in reducing students' budget in daily basis.
Ikwan, may I know about the costing for the food bank?
The costing. So as we know, before the MCO, we have a program that called Food Bank Siswa, which means when normal day, we have a program that calls Food Bank Siswa, which is some students get the Food Bank Siswa. How about we can use the Food Bank Siswa that given by the NGO. So we use that food to provide a student that in campus during this CMCO. Which is we can collaborate with that NGO that have UUM collaborate before.
So because of previous collaborations, the accessibility will be quite easy, less hard because we're used to it. It used to be implemented, right?
Yeah.
So
In addition, we have implemented, not we have, but UUM have implemented the solution during the CMO, Control Movement Operation, March ago. UUM have the experience. So I believe it is not too hard to UUM to do it again for a second time.
I think that's the best solution so far. What about others?
I'm glad you mentioned about the food bank idea, but I would like to ask you a question. Is there any risk or any difficulties that you would go through by having this food bank that you think you would try to? Yeah.
Difficulties.
Yeah.
So I think maybe at the student at the committee right now at the college, some student might be committee. So which is food bank, UUM should set up student good collection center located at SAC, student accommodation center, and later on the committee will gather at there, and we can with UM distribute the food to the resident hall, which is place that student who are currently in campus.
Mm.
So
So this food bank is open to all students, is it?
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So in addition, I think student who currently on campus right now, maybe just stay in one inasis, right?
Mm.
Yes.
Just not all the 15 inasis operate, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the food bank will open 24 hours?
Yeah. It will open 24 hours. We all know that the JKPS, the Jawatan Kuasa Kepimpinan dan Pembangunan Siswa, which is have a place, which is a room for arrange any meeting. So we can use that room to operate the food bank.
Okay, anyone
So
would
how about others? Do you agree or disagree with my solution?
For me, I agree because initially my solution is pantries, right? The pantries itself need more documents to fit to complete and one of the resources, the biggest resources in launching pantries are food banks. So yeah, food banks being huge resources of pantries means that food banks will also be the best solution for solving food insecurity among students.
Yeah, I also think that food bank is the best solution because based on my solution delivery, student need to use their own budget to buy the food. But with food bank, uh, the food is provided by university, so it's free or it's more cheap, uh, more than delivery.
Yeah, I
How
also
about
agree.
others?
I also agree with Ikwan for the food bank because I think food bank was the best option to counter the problem of difficulty of food because when the MCO in MCO I think students cannot go anywhere and get up from their door or something like that. So food bank I think is the best solution I think for the when the MCO I think. So about the Khairul.
Yes, I agree because I would say that I share the same view as you. Food bank would be the best solution because when we talk about my solution just now, which is 24-hour mart or convenience store, it would take a long time and a lot of financial resources to in order to build that mart. And maybe the efficiency for the student to be getting the advantages from mart is yes, they we got the pros and cons. So I think food bank would be the best solution because it is free, right? The students
Yeah, yeah.
don't pay. Yeah, so if we have the 24-hour mart, the student needs to still need to buy from that store. So yeah, food bank is good.
So I think that all of us are agree that food bank is the best solution to counter this problem, which is we can use two reasons why this solution is very suitable to counter this problem. One is it is efficiency. So this approach is efficient, which means can be implemented. As I said before that you have the experience during the MCO much ago. So I believe that UUM can do again for the second time, and also the acceptability. So as we know that solution might have the level accept and the highest for the implementation. So because this problem not force the student to use money, uh, even we just doing food bank. So to implement this solution, as I mentioned before, UUM should set up a student goods center located at the SAC, and later on the goods will distribute to the resident hall, which is place students who are currently on campus. So we get the final result, right? The best solution for the our problem, that is insecurity about food during the MCO, is food bank.
Yes, I agree.
Yes,
I agree too.
I agree.
So uh,
So I guess we will wrap our discussion with the best solution that we choose, which would be food bank. Okay, so
okay,
that's it. Thank
so
you.
Thank
that's
you.
all from us.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Good night, everyone.